Hi guys, today I'm going to explain about different drying technologies used in pharmaceutical industry. So, first is the principle of drying. It needs a large surface area for transfer of heat, and it's efficient heat transfer per unit area. Means it's need to supply a sufficient latent heat of vaporization or heat of sublimation in case of freeze drying. We'll know about freeze thaw technique, all that things. Okay. So next is efficient mass transfer of evaporated water through any surrounding vapor boundary layers. It means sufficient turbulence to uh, minimize the vapor boundary layer thickness. Next is efficient vapor removal, you need low relative humidity air at adequate velocity. Okay, so next, coming to the different machineries used in the pharmaceutical drying, there are four machineries FBD, fluidized bed drying. Next, drum dryer. Next, rotary dryer. Next, lyophilization, freeze drying. That is lyophilization. Okay, so fluidized bed dryers. First, we will know about the principle. Uh, First, the particulate matter is contained in a vessel of which it is perforated and that enables a fluid to pass through the bed of solids from below. And if the air velocity through the bed is increased gradually and the pressure drop through the bed is measured, a graph of the operation shows several disintegrant regions. I'll explain you by the diagram. Okay. Mm. See the diagram. First, hot air is passed through the distributor plate. Then the drug material or something is fed into it. Next, uh, in the upper side, one dust collector is there. Then the in right side, one product discharge is there. Where the product discharge after drying. Okay. So next to this working. Here, the material which is to be dried is placed on the bowl. In a bowl, we are keeping the material that is to be dried, and it's heated. Then the air is passed for heating as per diagram. Okay, so then air is passed to the filter and passed through the bed of material. The airflow is generated by fans fitted at the top, as per a previous diagram. Okay, at the top, one dust collector was there. The fan is fitted. Okay, so as the flow increases, the bed back expands and the particles of powder starts a turbulent motion. Turbulent motion means the fan will start working. Okay. Next, due to the regular contact with the material gets dry, the air leaving the fluidized bed dry pass through the filter to collect the fine particles of the material. Fine particles mean that the right side where the particles were collected. Okay. So, coming to the advantages, like it will give a efficient heat and mass transfer that gives a high drying rate, so that the drying times are shorter than the basic bed convention dryers. Economic, uh, then heat challenge to thermoleable material is minimized. Thermoleable means the materials uh, which needs more heat. Okay. Next, the fluidized state of the bed ensures that the drying occurs from the surface of the all the individual particles and not just from the surface of the bed. Hence, most of the drying will be at constant rate and the falling rate period is very short. So here we are getting a point that it ensures that the drying occurs from the surface, from the bed. Okay, so individual particles uh, from the surface. So the most of the drying that will be will occur at constant rate, and the falling rate period is also very short. Okay. Next, the temperature of a fluidized bed is uniform and can be controlled precisely. The temperature can be controlled precisely. Coming to disadvantages, like the turbulence of the fluidized state may cause excessive attrition of some materials with damage to some granules and the production of too much dust. Means as it's produced a high turbulence motion, so many dust may be produced, so it may cause some damage to the material. Okay. Next, the vigorous movement of particles in hot dry air can lead to the generation of static electricity charges. The danger is increased if the fluidized material contains a volatile solvent like isopropanol. Adequate electrical earthing is essential. So we are coming to the point, that is the vigorous movement of particles in hot dry air can lead to generation of static electricity charge. Means electricity short circuit may happen, all that things. Okay. So here the increase is general, increased the uh, heat may be increased due to the mm, uh, volatile solvent like isopropanol, all that things. Okay. So earthing is essential during operation. To its uses, how it is used, it is used to reduce or minimize the liquid moisture content of the material. Like we need to reduce the whatever liquid moisture, removal of moisture, simple word. Okay. Drum dryers, first principle. uh, Here in drum dryers, slurries or pasty feed stalks are dried on the surface of a slowly rotating steam heater drum. A thin film of the paste is applied on the surface in various ways. The dried film is not monitored once it is dry and collected as flakes. Here, different paste like materials are used, and a slow rotatory steam heated drum is there, and it is heated through steams, and it is dried, and that paste like materials is converted into powders. Okay. To the structure, in the starting the knife like structure is there, uh, then from the right side one liquid or slurry feed material is there, that I was telling paste like materials. Okay. So then another one steam heater drum is there inside. Okay. It is heated to the steam, then the particles are capped into that, and the knife scraper, it converts the material into small particles, and one spreader is there which will spread the materials, then it will form a film. Okay. So through that different dried materials will come out of it, and it will discharge different with that powders. Okay. So next, it's working. First, liquid is kept in a feeding pan. Okay. Liquid was there, liquid or paste like material, it is kept in a feeding pan where the heated drum is applied to the surface, and it spreads to a film that dries rapidly. Okay. And the dried product is scraped from the surface of the drum, means of like doctor's knife in the form of flakes. A knife was there in the ground, in the bottom, as per diagram. Okay. So it is discharged in the form of flakes. Next, the drying rate can be controlled by adjusting rotation speed and the temperature of drum. Okay. Use advantage, it is quick and method and compact. Its heating time is short. The drying temperatures can be reduced by enclosing in a vacuum chamber. Coming to its disadvantages, like feeding rate, then temperature of drum, thickness of film, speed of rotation of drum, like this can be critical, so it is necessary to control. Okay. Coming to its uses, it can be used in milk product, it can be used in starch powder, it can be used in iron salts, it can be used in different suspensions or kaolin or zinc oxide. Okay. Coming to next, rotary dryers. First, its principle. It's a simple, inexpensive unit for reducing the moisture content of flotation concentrates as well as chemical and individual products, frequently the saving of shipping weight. So affected will pay for the dryer in a few months. Difficulties from uh, freezing while in transit are also eliminated. Many individual projects are now using dryers for control and production purposes on many materials. So here it's inexpensive unit for to reduce moisture content of flotation concentrates as well as chemical and individual products. Okay, so this is the principle. Next, coming to its structure, see here one dry product is there, then cyclone in upper part, one fan is there right side. Okay, and one here in bottom left side fuel is there, then uh, three gaps, three pipes are there. First for atomization of air, next for uh, combustion of air, then quench air. Okay, then first fuel is introduced, then it pass to the wet feed. Okay, then the here uh, the material get dried, then it is dispatched to the this dry product area through the cyclone and fans. Okay, to its working condition, um, it's made up of a large rotating cylindrical tube that is usually supported by concentrate columns or steel beams. And the dryer slopes slightly so that the discharge end is lower than the material feed, and in order to convey the material through the dryer under gravity. So the material to be dried enters the dryer, and as the dryer rotates, the material is lifted up by a series of internal fins lining the inner wall of the dryer. And when the material gets high enough to roll back up its fins, it falls back down the bottom of the dryer, passing through the hot gas stream as it falls. Okay. Next, advantages, like rotary dryers are less sensitive to particle size. It can accept the highest flow gases of any type of dryer, and it have low maintenance cost, so it's economical. It is not expensive, and it has the greatest capacity than any type of dryer. Okay. Another disadvantage, like it is excessive entertainment losses in the gas stream is possible, especially if the material contains extremely very fine particles. So due to the large gas volumes and the high gas velocities, these are usually required. Okay. So coming to its uses, these are mostly used in mineral industries, so for drying sands, stones, uh, different fertilizers, coal, iron sulfate, etc. Okay. So lyophilization technique. First is principle lyophilization or desiccation. It's a dehydration process that is used to preserve a perishable material or make the material more convenient for transport. Means it's make the material easy to transport. Okay. Diagram. The first in the ground stage. It will come. Then food trolley moving between the fixed heating points. Next vacuum joint, funnel section. Next to vacuum pump. So first uh, here you can see one electrical controller is there, one vacuum gauge is there to produce the pressure, and here 1 2 3 4 5 pans are there. Okay. Mm. And here inside one vapor producing units are there, 1 2 3 4 5. Okay, and upper side plate is there, the gate valve is there. Okay, whatever is there. Okay, next I'll explain it in next slide. Okay, so it's working. Sublimation in the freeze drying process can be described like freeze means the product is completely frozen, that 5 units were there, no, there it may be completely frozen, usually in vial, flask or tray. At 5 vacuum producing vials were there it is possible. Okay, next vacuum, the product is then placed under a deep vacuum well below triple point of water. Next dry, heat energy is then added to the product that cause ice to sublimize. Okay, advantages like we can remove water at low temperature due to vacuum. Then thermolayable materials can be dried, then compatible with aseptic conditions, then sterility can be maintained. Coming to disadvantages, like many biological molecules are damaged by stress associated with freeze drying or both. Cost may be an issue depending upon product, and this is a long time process. And its uses, it is mainly used in pharmaceuticals and biotechnological industries to increase the shelf life of a product, and it's used in different food industries as to preserve food and produce essence or flavoring agents. And in technical industry it is used in chemical synthesis and formation of stable products. And I have two review article. uh, First is Sheikh Nob et al. Suggested that the crystallization process poses a major role for particle formation in pharmaceutical industry, as well as it plays a vital role in defining stability and drug release properties of final doses formed by the process of direct compression and formation of amorphous solvated polytechnic form. Finally, recent development in supercritical technology was considered for crystallization process. Okay, and here is the journal name, crystallization process in pharmaceutical technology and drug delivery design. Okay, another review article I have mentioned, freeze drying process a review. This is a journal title. Okay, next here what a Soham Shukla has suggested. He suggested that the freeze drying method of drying thermolabile materials that involve 3 steps. First, freezing. Second, primary drying. Third, secondary drying. In freezing, freezing material was kept in freeze drying flask and rotating the flask in a bath called cell freezer, which was cooled by mechanical refrigeration. Next coming to second step, that is primary drying. Here the phase pressure was lowered and the enough heat was supplied to the material, and about 95% of water is sublimated. Okay, next coming to the third step, secondary drying. Here temperature is raised higher than the primary, raised above 0 degrees Celsius to break any physiochemical interactions that have been happened between the water molecules and frozen materials. After the freeze drying process, this complete vacuum is usually broken with an inert gas, and at the and the residual water content in the product was 1 to 4%, that is extremely lower. Okay, so these are some reference for you, whoever is watching my video. Okay, so they can process further regarding different drying process involved in pharmaceutical industries. And I have one question, that is freeze-thaw technique. Okay, if anything is anybody is having any answer for this, or anybody is having doubt, you can mention in the chat section.